gang, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Destiny Taylor here if you're new. I am really excited for today's video. I am finally touching life post college. So I walked the stage May 6th of 2017, only like 7 months ago I believe, and I received my bachelor's in journalism with a focus in public relations. I went to school at Ball State University. It's in a small town called Muncie in Indiana, and when I graduated, I'd say like 4 weeks after I graduated, I moved to Los Angeles. 2 weeks before I graduated, I locked in a full-time paid internship with Guest Corporate out here in LA at their headquarters. My internship with Guest was really awesome. It was 2 months. About 2 weeks before the internship was over, I started a very intense interviewing process with the company I am with now. I'm not going to disclose that on this video, but if you would like to know more personal information about me, you can follow me on Instagram, but I digress. Back to the topic at hand. The interviewing process was 5 rounds, and I also had a mini project I had to do. Once my internship with Guest concluded, I was pretty much jobless for a week. I did have a job. I was employed. I transferred to a Guest retail store, but my hours wouldn't pick up until 2 weeks after the internship ended, and I didn't find out. I had one more round I had to do for the job that I have now, and I didn't find out that I got that job until like, you know, after the week. Let me tell you that being unemployed pretty much for that week, you know, not working, was the most stressful time of my life, because LA is so expensive to it's so expensive to maintain a lifestyle and living out here. The job I have now is such a dream. I'm doing what I love, what I've always wanted to do. It's mid-level, and I'm working with a very respectable company that's so innovative. So yeah, I am of that small percentage of college students who graduated with a bachelor's, got a job, and isn't underemployed. If you didn't know, the problem with graduates is not unemployment. The big problem is we're being underemployed, and that's projected at I believe between 30 and 40%. So let's get on with the tips. My first is to not wait until you get your degree to actually start using it. Secure internships and fellowships as early as possible. Join student-run organizations that have real life clients and give you real professional experience. For example, I joined my school's student-run PR firm. I gained real-world professional experience that helped me step into a mid-level position after college. Start freelancing and become a resource to your friends or to small businesses. Start freelancing, become a resource to your friends or small businesses. This is definitely the top way to gain professional experience and start having a voice in your field. Start a blog. Every single internship I've secured and this job that I've been able to secure, I pretty much got because I started my YouTube back in 2013. Running my own blog taught me so much. Oh, and I also freelanced my senior year of college. I've learned how to develop brands. I've learned how to work with brands, promote products, develop campaigns, run social media. Everything that I'm doing now, I learned on my own by taking a step forward and freelancing and starting my own blog. One thing that's important that we have to remember is going to college means nothing. You're learning and you're getting a piece of paper, but you actually have to practice what you learn and actually have to develop experience. No one is going to hire you if you haven't had professional experience. If you want to stand up next to the professionals who have been doing this for years post-grad, you're gonna have to get that hustle on right now. And that brings me into my next point. Start developing your resume as early as possible. Even if you're in high school, it does not matter if you don't know what you want to do. I know for high school students, there are a lot of experiential programs that you can enroll into and get professional experience or just get insight on any profession. For example, 17 magazine has a summer program for high school students. A lot of high schools in the States offer career programs for their students. I went to a very basic public school in the east side of Indianapolis, and we had programs for architecture, dental, cosmetology, broadcasting, photography, so many. I was on the broadcasting track, and that's where I learned how to edit videos and how to be on camera. We had this live morning news announcements, and I was like the feature anchor, and sometime I ran the camera, or I would edit different commercials. I got to run the teleprompter before. So that's for high school students. But if you're in college, definitely your freshman year, you should be getting it in. So along the same lines, my third tip is to get as much experience as possible. If you're serious, you want your dream job after college, you want to be employed, not underemployed after college, you should be interning or doing fellowships or something that you can put on your resume every semester. I didn't start as early as my freshman year just because I didn't have that hustle then, but as soon as I got this hustler's mindset, I had an internship every semester from my sophomore to my senior year. I was also running my blog, and I was also freelancing and volunteering. While you're getting all this experience, you want to make sure it's very diverse. Travel. I went to New York, LA, and Texas. Some people go abroad. If you can go abroad, even better. My internships were in the same field, but I explored my different options. So I had social media internships, I had writing internships, I had editorial internships. That brings me into my fourth tip. Figure out what you do like and what you don't like. There's so many different things you can do within one field. So while you're interning and getting this experience, if you're interested in doing anything in that field, try it out. I know for me, I was super set on being an editor for a fashion or beauty magazine. For 2 years I was set on this, but once I got my internship, the summer before my senior year, I realized that, okay, this is not what I'm into. Also figure out what sector within an industry you're interested in. So is it entertainment? Is it not-for-profit? Is it retail? My fifth tip is to be an entrepreneur and learn from the real world. All of these tips really are cohesive and coincide. So again, start a blog to show your expertise. Start freelancing to get real world clients and start actually doing the job that you want to do after you graduate. This will really help you stand out on paper. I got this job that I have now from my blog and from freelancing. My sixth tip is to use LinkedIn. It surprises me how many students don't use LinkedIn. If you do not have a LinkedIn page, get one. I am like a master at LinkedIn. I have like a mastered LinkedIn page. If you have any questions on LinkedIn, or if you want me to do a Q&A or a video or some type, you can leave the questions down below. I'll have my LinkedIn in my bio, so if you want to connect and if you want to look at my page, you can. LinkedIn is so useful, one, because it's like a condensed resume and portfolio, yet it's very thorough. And this is really where you can hone in on those connections that you've made that you really haven't been able to nourish. So for example, while I was interning for the magazine I interned with last summer, I met one of the founders of the company I work for now, and we've only had like 1 or 2 conversations, and I followed him on LinkedIn. I did not talk to him until I applied for this position. He remembered me, he was able to go to my profile and see what all I've done, and he recommended me. So my 7th tip is to do well on your internship. So go in, go above and beyond the work, learn above and beyond what you're supposed to do, and most importantly, have a positive attitude. I can tell you, I have not been like the top superstar at all of my jobs or all of my internships, but I've always had a positive attitude that made me a superstar. Having a positive attitude and having a positive energy around you while you're working is going to make people want you on their team. So my 8th tip is to not be afraid of failure. This will help you with your confidence. I can tell you, I've heard so many no's. I've applied to for every internship that I've gotten, I've probably applied to like somewhere between 20 and like 30 internships, 20 or 30 jobs. This internship with Guess, I did not even apply to this one, and I had to apply to at least like 100 jobs and internships in January of 2017. If I would have been afraid of failure, or if I would have let that get to me, I wouldn't have got this internship with the Guess. So yeah, those are my tips for you guys. I am not an expert. I can only tell you from my experience, and I did master my experience. I can say that. My sister's a senior in high school, and these are tips I've been proudly passing down to her, so I'm really happy to share these with you guys. If you do have any more questions, please leave them down below. You can DM me on Instagram if you want a quick response. My social media info is in the bio. If you have any video requests for life post-grad or life in LA, any questions, please leave those down below or DM them to me, because I will be doing more videos and Q&A things. So yeah, peace and love, and thank you guys for joining me today.